Hey everybody, I'm Justin Bohn.
And I'm Mike Val.
And this is the Bohn and Zano Zone, where we are always on the lanes, off the charts, and on the mic. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bohn and Zano Zone podcast presented by BuddiesProShot.com. Mike, how are we doing tonight?
That's a nice little background you got behind you on your wall there.
Yeah, for our What's Up in Wichita segment, we're going to start it a little early here. I moved rooms this week in school.
Oh, excuse me.
So we got a little new scenery going on here. So the PBA Junior Finals banner will be behind me.
Is that What's Up in Wichita this week that you moved rooms?
Yes, that's what we got going on. So,
all right, so kind of a boring week in Wichita then.
Let me think. Is there anything else that I've been doing? I took some senior photos this weekend. That was kind of cool.
You're not a senior though.
No, I did the photo taking.
Oh, okay.
I was the one behind the camera.
You were working.
Yes. Yeah. So that was pretty fun. I don't get to do that very often. So that was pretty cool.
All right.
Had a old friend in town that was bowling a tournament and decided to stay the week, and that was pretty fun. But no bowling stuff really.
Same here. I'm still on the shelf.
Yeah. Well, you're injured, so.
I am injured.
Yeah.
So, do we want to just get into the 3 tournaments that happened in the past couple of weeks on the tour, or do we want to get into the smoking gun that happened this morning when we all kind of woke up?
So, our main headline for the night is obviously the 2022 Storm Cup, but I do think that we need to talk about what's kind of gone on, the minor headlines. Of tonight's show that have come about within the past 24 hours out in Vegas at the Masters.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of let you take this one away and lead the ropes with this one.
You want me to do it?
I think so. I mean, I read the post. I can pull it up on Facebook.
I got it.
Okay.
Here's my take on it. So this was posted when I woke up this morning, probably around 7 o'clock, a little after 7. I saw it. So Belmo posts this morning, and I guess I'm going to report this. I'm going to quote this. All right.
Okay.
Something unsettling happened after my practice session at the Masters. USBC asked me to bring my bowling balls to be tested. In parentheses, what kind of testing I am unsure of. I brought my balls to this testing site and thought it was weird that it was behind black curtains. I asked if I could watch my equipment through the testing process. They declined to allow me, so I declined to give my equipment to them to test. I just didn't feel comfortable with not being able to be present through the testing process. I have no issue with testing them and all my bowling balls so long as there is transparency. Why is it behind a black curtain? Why can't I watch my own equipment be tested, and what are they testing for? Does this seem weird to you? And there you see the testing center, which kind of looks like a COVID testing center from 2020.
Yeah.
There you go. Now, I'm just going to come out and say it because I think he doesn't take enough heat. What in the hell is Chad Murphy thinking? This is all on Chad Murphy. This is not on the PBA. This is not on Tom Clark. This is not on Belmo. This is strictly on Chad Murphy. What is What
It's
is
the
he trying to
USBC
prove here?
thing.
This is a USB-C thing, and this comes right from him. So I'm going to ask you, what is Chad Murphy thinking?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of testing that they would be doing that couldn't be seen by. It's one thing if you hide it from the public, like if you do in the locker room where only
Well,
athletes can get in.
but
I have
Justin,
no issue with that because
Justin,
that's
that's
where
how it's
most of it
always
happens
been.
anyway. Yeah,
Exactly. It's always in the paddock. The scales are in the paddock. That's how it's always been done.
yeah.
End of story.
It doesn't need for everyone to be shown, but at least the player that's getting the testing done should be able to see what's
Correct.
going on or know what's going on at least.
Correct. So this was, and I salute. I tip my cap to Belmo. I do, for
Yeah,
standing up for this and not letting them do it. Absolutely, good for him.
yeah. I don't think that in the post that he made, he said anything wrong against the USBC.
No.
I think he worded it very well. And as you can see, 2,500 comments
Yeah.
on this post.
Oh yeah.
That,
Um,
that's a lot.
I'm looking at it now. Um, yeah, there's a lot, and I know Simonson was another one. Um, who, who chimed in on this, and I'm just going through it now. I mean, there's a lot. Like you said, there's over um, 2,000 replies on this one. But I mean, I'm confused. Was
I,
he wasn't the only one that was singled out to get his test stuff
no,
tested.
he couldn't have been. But the way that it was done, there could have been a different way. So comment being made, so the number one bowler in the world doesn't trust the governing body to be square. Sums up the sport and USBC perfectly. I mean, I don't know if it's a trust thing. I think it was a I don't want to say a bad call on USBC, but I think that there could have been ways that they could have handled this better.
Exactly. And was it
And
everybody?
simply not being behind curtains.
I think that's what makes it a little more sketchy too. That it's done in like that little tent, basically.
Or even if the players allow, like if the only one watching the testing is the ones doing the testing and the player that's getting the testing done,
Exactly. Like,
and the
okay,
player goes behind the tent, fine.
that's fine. Okay, Jason, you're up. Bring your balls in. Bring your balls in. Boom. That's
Yeah.
it. You don't need to have, your 18 ball reps with you from each company you represent. No, just all right, Justin Bohn, you're in. Bring your balls in. Boom. That's it.
Yeah.
End of story. I think that's what makes it worse. He didn't say that he was not going to test this stuff. He just wanted to be there when it went through the testing process, whatever it was going to be.
Right.
So I don't think that he has anything to hide by any means.
No.
But was he the only one, or did they go after other players as well?
That I don't know.
There's so many different stories on it, right? And now we're being told that Doherty also declined it.
Yeah.
Like,
So I mean,
what are they trying to prove? That's what I don't understand.
and I do feel like now with the controversy that's brought up within the bowling world today, um, USBC will make a statement on what the testing was for at some point in time in the future. Don't have that answered on a magic ball.
Chad Murphy needs to come off his high horse and address the bowlers publicly, because this is all on him. This is not on, a rep from Storm, a rep from Brunswick, a rep from Motive. This is directly from the USBC, and who gives the call at USBC? Who's the top guy there? It's Chad. So the fact that the number one bowler in the world, I don't want to say he was singled out, but opened his mouth and finally stood up to Chad Murphy, right?
Yeah.
That should speak volumes. And there
Right.
should be more players that USBC is single-handedly affected with other things within the sport, i.e., take the Barneses, for example, right? So Grandpa whacked them at the Nationals this weekend,
Yep.
right? Ryan bowled pretty well at the Nationals this weekend. They can bowl in the same pair, they can't bowl in the same team. So, in a case like that, if enough people stand up to Chad and really voice their opinion, guys that have real names in the industry, like Belmonte, like Barnes, things are going to get done. Things will change if enough guys like that speak their mind. And I think it's going to happen eventually. These guys are getting fed up.
Yeah. I think that there's just been so much controversy within the bowling world, at least on social media. It's been seen quite a bit more recently. And I think the statements being made, it's one thing when a statement's made by a player on TV, but when a statement like that is made by the best player in the world on social media,
Yeah.
and it's gotten the engagement that it has.
You know what? I wonder, like, if the guy who was 400 under in A squad today, right?
Yeah.
Did they request to get his balls tested as well? Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, let's just say hypothetically, I'm bowling the Masters, right? Do you
Right.
think they're going to come up to me, "Hey, Mike, by the way, we want to test your balls"? No chance.
Right.
They don't give a damn about me. They don't give a damn about you, Justin, or the guy who's going to be the red leader who's donating his money this week. They want to nail a name, and it's
Right.
almost like Chad, like I excuse the expression, had a hard on for Belmo or guys that use those two particular balls that have been in question for the past couple weeks now.
Right.
Why?
I don't know. It's not an answer that I
And
have.
honestly, if you really think of the spectrum here, right? Tom Clark is and has done a really good job with the PBA, like building it up and trying to get it going with Bolero. He's done a great job, right? I think we're both agree that Tom Clark's done a really,
Yeah.
really good job. And then you go to the other side of the coin, you got Chad Murphy, who runs the USBC, who it's like a circus. So the two biggest players and I guess we'll say professional bowling scene, right?
Yeah.
You have one guy who's really doing a great job. The other guy has no clue what he's doing. There's no in the middle there.
Right.
I think enough guys have to step in and really voice their opinions on this. And
Yeah.
maybe by having guys really, open their mouth, whether it be on social media or, in an interview on Fox or whatnot, then things will get changed.
Maybe they wanted to. Maybe they wanted guys to share this on social media and get some controversy. I don't know. I mean,
I,
getting Belmo to say something about it and get more people to know about what's going on. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either. I
But
don't think it's good for the sport that they're went after the number one bowler in the world or attempted to go after the number one bowler in the world.
no.
And just think of it this way. Take Simonson, for example.
Okay.
Simonson's very vocal too. If they would have done this to him, Simonson's going to say something publicly.
Right.
Troop would have. Those guys that have the big social media presence, they're going to speak their mind.
Yeah.
They don't care. So it's fascinating though. And it's not a good look for the sport either.
No, but we'll keep you guys updated as more information about that comes about, because I'm sure that more information is going to come along here soon as this week progresses at the Masters.
Yeah, this is going to be a non-ending story, so just stay tuned and we'll just keep reading and see what happens as the week goes on. And honestly, now I want to see Belmo win this week, and I want to see him just stick it right to Chad Murphy. Like I want to see him win. What is this? It'll be his sixth Masters if he wins.
Fifth.
This will be the fifth. I want to see him win number 5 more than anything. This will be title 30, right? If he wins.
Yeah.
I want to see him win this week, and just like when he gets the trophy, just say, "Didn't matter."
Yeah.
Something very polite, professional, like the ball didn't matter. Number 5. There you go.
Right.
And to answer this question.
Yeah. Question: shouldn't they test balls before every tournament?
They don't test them; they weigh them.
They should either weigh them or check the hardness. I don't know if it's before every tournament, like balls that have been approved have. So, like, let's say I bowl the 2023 tour season, right? And I check balls 1 through 10 the first week. Balls 1 through 10 are exempt for the first 3 months. I don't have to test them again. Something like that.
Yeah,
to save time.
they're like in the database basically.
Right. And you just recheck them in case something happened, like with the hardness over time, like stuff like that's going to happen.
Or do what they used to do back in the 80s and the 90s. You put the mill hole in the ball.
Right.
Ball's approved. Mill hole on top, right above the bridge. Boom. It's illegal. It's legal. Sorry.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Yeah. I know that they used to, and they went away from it when the PBA was bought out. But after that, I think they should go back to it because of what has transpired in the bowling world in the past couple of weeks now.
Absolutely. Go back to it and fix it. I mean, something is broke in the bowling world. Fix it.
Yeah.
You know, they have a great opportunity here with really good faces of bowling now. Fix it.
Right.
So that's all I have to say about that.
All right. Well, let's go on to our next kind of headline. Something I want to talk about before we get into the Storm Cup is the new bowling sitcom airs episode 1
Yeah.
Thursday at 8 p.m. on CBS or 8:30
I
on
saw
CBS.
that.
Yeah, I'm stoked for it. I'm super excited.
Justin, have you watched Kingpin yet?
Believe it or not, no.
Okay, you have to watch Kingpin before you watch this. You have to. Your father's in the movie. You have to watch this first.
And believe it or not, I was just talking to one of my roommates about that. He was like, "Wasn't your dad like in a movie or something?" I was like, "Yeah, he was in Kingpin." And believe it or not, I haven't seen it yet.
So upset.
On the bucket list. Regardless, back to How We Roll. So How We Roll airing Thursday at 8:30 on CBS. It's for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a bowling sitcom based around Tom Smallwood's life and how he was a car salesman, lost his job in 2008, and then took the big risk of
bowling on tour for a living,
professional bowler on tour, and it paid off when he won the world championship in 2009.
Was he a car salesman or he worked for General Motors, right? Right? I don't think he was a salesman. He worked in the plant, I thought, right?
Let me see. Laid off from a car assembly line.
All right, he worked for GM. He was from Michigan.
Yeah, so this is what the about of the TV series is. When Tom, a stoic Midwest husband and dad, gets laid off from a car assembly line, he makes the extraordinary decision to provide for his family by following his dream of becoming a professional bowler. As a skilled player, Tom knows that in bowling, no matter what you do with the first ball, you get another one to make it right. The ultimate second chance. Keeping that in mind, Tom begins his new career with the loving okay from his wife and the unfaltering support of Archie, his mentor and the proud owner of Archie's Lanes, home of the Curly Fry. It remains to be seen if Tom will strike it big on the pro bowler circuit, but the pins are set and he's taking his second shot.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think I had a conversation with somebody this week about if they're going to promote bowling as a sport in the right way. I don't think that they can completely scratch the image that has already been created, if that makes sense. I mean, like the home center is the home of the Curly Fry.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about a bowling center, home of the Curly Fry.
Hey, I mean, what's on the outside of Howell Lanes? Dave's Wieners, right? I mean, it's plastered on the building.
Yeah, but when you think about it, this is going to be a story about how someone was laid off from their job and wanted to chase their dream of becoming a professional bowler.
It's a feel-good story.
Network television, Michael.
Prime time.
Prime time network television. And not
Never
like
happened.
on some low channel. We're talking about CBS here.
Yeah.
This is great. It's going to air every Thursday at 8:30.
Does Smallwood make a cameo on this at all? Do we know if he made an appearance on the show?
I'm sure that he has to.
You would think, right?
Yeah, I don't know about it yet.
Okay.
Obviously, I haven't seen it, but
nobody has.
I'm sure there's got to be something about
he has to pop in eventually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Little trivia for you.
I don't know that he'll necessarily be a star in the show, but I'm sure they're going to play video
So, little trivia for you, Justin. Where did he win the world championship?
It was in Wichita, North Rock.
Very good. So you knew that one.
It was brought up to me about 2 days ago, so that's how I know. I wouldn't have known before that. I would have guessed Thunderball.
Yeah, no, it was Wichita. It was at North Rock. Very good, Justin.
Yep.
So you finally answered one of my trivia questions. Excellent.
Perfect. Way to work.
So now, before we go to the Storm Cup,
Okay.
we have to talk about this Sunday,
The draft.
the draft. Now, this is our Cadillac show, basically, right?
Yes, this has been our biggest show.
Well, we only did it once.
We did it twice, kinda. We did the
We did the
PWBA
women.
draft.
Yes, with the men's draft, we did on our first season in 2020.
Yeah,
That was like almost a 5-hour show.
yeah. It was a really long show.
It was a very long show, and we had a lot of positive feedback from a lot of people in the business and the industry. We had guests out the yin yang on that show.
Yeah, we probably had 30 guests on that show.
Easily.
Easily.
Well, guess what? We're back this year.
Yes.
We're doing it again. We're covering the draft. It'll be Sunday night. We still don't know the time of the draft.
Yeah, we don't know the time of the draft, so we don't know what time our
TBD.
show's going to be.
Yeah,
Keep the date, mark the date, Sunday night, and we'll be back with Chuck Gardner.
Chucky will be with us for the duration of the draft.
Yes, super excited for that.
And we will have numerous guests on. We'll probably have the managers, most of the managers.
Yeah, we're gonna reach out to all of them and see what we can do. Trying to get some people on the show, and we're just gonna have an absolute blast with it. For those of you that have watched it in the past, you know how enjoyable of a show it is. We had 180 people, I think, watching like the entire show.
Yeah, we stream it to. Yeah, we streamed it to every outlet there was that allowed us to share it.
Yeah.
Who has the first pick this year? What team? I know Johnny has the second pick.
Let me see.
I know Johnny. We were talking about it last night. Johnny has the second pick in the draft, and I was trying to get in his ear last night a little bit to get an idea, and he basically told me to go pound sand. So I couldn't even get a read off of who Johnny was thinking of taking. There it is. We're being told Carolyn has the first pick this year.
Yes, that's what I'm seeing.
So there's a lot of big names in the draft pool this year.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of big names in the draft pool.
Tell you what, Carolyn had a pretty interesting. She had a really good team in 2020. She saved Pete Weber, Darren Tang, Marshall Kent, and dropped Kyle Sherman and Oscar Palermo.
That's hard, man. That's really hard.
Yeah.
You can't drop Pete because Pete's going to give you what he's going to give you. He's the spark plug of any team who's going to ball on.
Right.
And he has 50 years of experience. You can't drop him.
Yeah.
It's surprising that she dropped Sherman, and he's really kind of come into his own the past couple months.
Well, I think it was more the timing of it because
Kyle,
I think, has gotten better at bowling on tour this season.
Mm-hmm.
Where Darren had won a title before.
Yeah. Whereas the releases were done months ago.
Right. That was done in January.
The other big surprise that was released was Barnes.
Yeah, I was going to say he's also in the pool. Jason Sterner and Matt Ogle also in the pool that were added back.
Simonelli's in the pool.
Yep. So, I mean, there's a...
Packy in the pool.
Yes.
I mean, there's who was the other guy? Was it Larson that Tim dropped off the Lumberjacks?
Yeah, Martin Larson. Brad Miller, Nick Pate also in the pool, coming off the Dallas Strikers.
Russo's in the pool.
Yep.
The free agent, I want to call Matt's a free agent, but he's in the draft pool.
Yeah, I don't know where the pool is or where we can find the pool.
I don't think the list is up yet.
Because I think it depends on the Masters.
It probably will depend a little bit on the finals at the Masters.
Yeah, so I think they have to arrange the list of who's in the top 75 in points after the Masters. So that's a pretty big event for you to hold out.
Yeah. Well, we will have all that Kevin Williams be in that pool too.
Yeah. I can almost guarantee you he's going to get picked this year.
Especially a lefty going to Bayside. with a big personality like Kevin Williams has, he
And
will
now he's won a title on tour.
exactly. He's going to get scooped up eventually. Maldonado's another one who is in the pool.
Yeah, he's bowled quite well over the past, I'm going to say 2 years, because I think he won 2 titles last year.
Who is it, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I'm just taking a quick look really quick at
Oh,
the
no,
Masters.
Sean Maldonado is on a team. He's on the Chicago Hitmen.
Oh, they saved him.
Yes.
I thought he was dropped.
No, it was Don Barrett, Tom Smallwood, Sean Maldonado saved, and then Jason Turner, Matt Ogle dropped.
All right. So just looking really quick here, just to give you an update, the leader at the Masters is still Perry Crowell, the 4th at 174 over. They're done with B squad.
Okay.
Kevin Williams sitting in 3rd. Tommy Jones in 8th. I mean, how good is this guy bowling this year? Granted, he doesn't have a win, but Tommy looks like Tommy 20 years ago.
Yeah. He's definitely been bowling pretty good here.
There's another guy you just mentioned, Martin Larson. Martin Larson in 12th at a 87 over. And really quick, the number right now is 30 over. Dad got done bowling B squad.
Yes.
So Dad is at 31 over.
Perfect.
Not a bad squad. Perfect place to be, right?
In the number right now.
Yeah, in the number right now, but it's a good play. Anytime you're plus at the Masters, you can't complain.
Yeah, and I mean, when we're looking at how close the scores are, I mean, he's 62nd right now at 31 over. And let's go 20 pins higher at 51 is a tie at 38th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, more than 20 pins ahead of him, or 20 spots ahead of him.
Yeah. All right.
And
good showing.
I mean, 90 over is 11th.
Yeah.
And that's not that different either. So
I know we touched on it really quick. I know we're dodging around the Storm Cup really quick. I know we're doing that a lot, but Vegas seems to be the spot this week for bowling, right?
yes.
I think we have to bring up really quick, since we're talking about the Nationals, and we've talked about it before, the USBCs.
Oh, last one I want to mention, shout out Chris Forey, 57 over, sitting in 31st place right now.
I didn't even know Chris was bowling this week. Phenomenal job by the boss.
Yes. We wish him all the success, Mr. President, buddiesproshop.com.
Mr. President.
Go to buddiesproshop.com, coupon code Zone5 off, take 5%, because Chris is in the cut at the Masters.
Is Chris bowling the Nationals as well this week, or he's just bowling the Masters?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I do not know that.
But how about your leader in the all events right now at the Nationals?
Chris Barnes.
And I don't know, did you see any of his videos when they were live on Sunday when he was? Oh my God. He had the look in the team event playing out.
Yeah.
And then he stepped in for the minors. Oh my Lord. He was getting on it, and he looked like Barney from yesteryear.
Really?
Yeah, he looked really good. What, he bowled 2190, I think he shot for his all events.
That's a pretty good score.
I think it was 2190. He has the lead in doubles as well. And he has a couple eagles, if I'm not mistaken. I think he has 4 eagles, if I'm not mistaken. I think they said 4. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't want to give any more fake news, because we did that a lot last week. We got yelled at for it. Yeah. Shout out to our buddy over there for correcting us. So he shot 2197 for all events.
Good score.
Yeah, that's a lot. 2197 is a lot. And 1479 in doubles.
Also a lot.
So he said in one of the interviews that he feels that 2190 can be snapped.
It could.
He feels that the 1470 is the number that he thinks can hold up for an eagle.
Okay.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, that is a lot. And that's just shy of 750 a guy.
On that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, did you see the guy today from, he's from New York. He's from Canandaigua, Uncle Doug's area.
Okay.
And he just moved to Brooklyn, so he's from Canandaigua, New York. He had the front 9. I don't even know what event he was bowling today, but he had the front 9, and he went runaway cross for the 10th, runaway cross for the 11th, and then hit the pocket and got 9 for 99.
Damn.
But it was hysterical. He threw him like, oh my God, that's terrible. Struck. He threw the one on the 11th, and he put his hands up like, "Oh my god, that's terrible again."
Struck.
Yeah, and then he actually hit the pocket and got 9 for 99.
Wow, that's funny.
But I think the score's actually pretty good out there. They don't look like they're that hard. They look like they're a little soft, actually.
Yeah.
They don't look, I don't know if you've seen them or not. They don't look too impossible.
No, I haven't, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. All right. So now let's get to the Storm Cup.
Yes. So Storm Cup, points leader, Jason Belmonte. Not a surprise. He won 2 of the events. Jesper Svensson and Dom Barrett, the other 2 winners in the 4 events. The kind of the final 5-point standings that got the extra added bonus money. Belmo, Dom Barrett, Svensson, EJ Tackett, and Nick Pate. I think that was a $25,000 prize pool, if I'm doing my math right.
Mm-hmm. Justin, are we just going to give Belmo Player of the Year regardless of the rest of the season? Or can Dom run him down?
You know, I don't want to say yet. I think after this week could be the difference maker.
Is Dom the only one, in your opinion, that can run him down for Player of the Year?
Yeah, do you think of anyone else that can?
I really can't.
I mean, Simo doesn't have 2 titles.
No. Unless he pops off one this week at the Masters.
I mean, Simo winning 2 majors and Belmo having 4 titles, I think you still got to give it to.
Well, then what about this one? So Prather won the World Championship.
Yep.
Prather finished second at the TSC.
Yeah. Again, not a title.
No, it's not a title, but you're getting to a major.
Right.
You know, you're getting to the finish. You're bowling. He bowled 1 game for the TSC. Granted,
right.
he lost, but let's just say Prather wins the Masters. So you have
it makes
major
the conversation
winner,
a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, major winner, runner up. Where Belmo has major, and what is it? He has a third. Am I right? A third.
What 2 event? What he won?
He lost
the World Series.
He did not. He won the Players.
He won the Players. Won an event at the World Series.
He made the show at the U.S. Open.
Yep.
That's where Simonson beat him. And
he won 2 Storm Cup events, event at the World Series, and won the Players.
It's 4.
Yeah. I think somebody's got to go Masters playoffs, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because that's about all that's left on the schedule.
Yeah.
There is nothing left after the playoffs.
No, well, the Lucy starts the new season. The Lucy's in July, and that starts off the new tour season, correct?
I don't know if it starts off if it's the new tour season, but there is nothing left after the playoffs in May for the PGA Tour. I think somebody has to go win-win in the last 2 events, and they will win. Because and there's only 2 guys that can do it. Dom
and Prather.
And Chris Prather.
Yeah, and that's 2 big hurdles to get over.
Yeah, I think if Dom did it, has a better chance. But at the same time, if either one of them go win-win between 2 majors and the playoffs, as opposed to 3 titles over 4, but you've got an extra major, I'd say it's to one of those 2 if they go win-win.
No, he's not the high average on tour. EJ's leading the high average on tour, I believe.
Is he?
I believe so. I don't think it's Belmo. I think it's Tackett who's high average right now on tour.
Let me see.
Belmo obviously has the earnings lead, so he's going to have the money lead.
Yeah. Well, Belmo is ahead of second place by 10,000 points.
Okay.
Let me see.
I also want to get into one other topic when we're done with this.
So EJ Tackett is out averaging Belmo by 0.04.
227, 228?
225.92, 225.88. Belmo has 339 games. EJ has 313.
That's sick.
And I think then those are the only two players over 300 or over 300 games.
Sick.
So, yeah.
Hey, whoever that is, hey to you too.
Roommates back in.
So, we're both going to agree. The only way Delmo does not win Player of the Year is if Prather or Dom snap off the Masters.
Yeah. I mean, if Dom could win the Masters and make it a conversation,
that would give him 3.
Prather, I think, has to win both.
Prather would have to go win-win. Correct.
Yeah, because he's only got one title.
He has 1 title and a runner-up, where Dom would have 3 titles.
Dom would have two majors. Titles. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes it a lot more interesting. So Dom is the closer one.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a common trend of Belmo being dominant on tour. I feel like that's all we talk about.
It's sickening. You can't beat the guy.
No, he's basically leading every category. I mean, he's got the most titles, the most.
He has the money,
most TV shows. EJ's beating him for most cashes by 1 event.
Woohoo!
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I will.
And he's got the most games on tour.
That's what's amazing. He has the most games on tour. He's averaging 225, 226, you said?
225.88.
Think of this. The guys are happy back at home that average 225 or 230 for his full league season, 108 games. Yeah. This guy's doing it 300 and change on tour patterns against the best in the world, the biggest pressure situations, and he's that. So for anybody at home, and this is what I'm going to lead into, anybody at home that thinks they can do what he's doing on those patterns, go bowl him.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to touch on really quick. So I want to talk about lane patterns really quick.
Go ahead.
I've heard so much in the past month since I ran my tournament last month at my Masters about lane patterns and oil and modifying patterns and whatnot. I just want to get something right off my chest, and I'm going to use this forum to do it.
Go ahead. Right?
Lane patterns, if they're altered the right way or if they're modified the right way by the right people, they will be fine. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. So when we, meaning myself and even with you with Dad's tournament, pick out a pattern, who's the guy that modifies it for us?
JJ.
Correct. Who is the most intelligent person when it comes to bowling, lanes, oils, machines, etc. He is a genius.
Yeah.
And when he modifies patterns for us, it is based on the oil, the chemicals, the machine, and the surface of the building you're hosting the event. Correct?
Correct.
I am so sick and tired of hearing people say that patterns block certain people out or certain styles out or because you're adding volume or taking volume away. That's not the case. It's not the case at all. And in my event, I'm going to give you a quick little mathematical situation here. 116 players.
Okay.
22 from the left side of the lane out of the 116.
So 1 in 5, basically. Little less than 1 in 5.
16 make the finals. 16 bowlers make the finals.
Okay.
4 of the 16 are left-handed.
That's fair.
3 in the final 4, the runner-up is lefty.
So three left-handers in the final 4?
3 lefties in the final 4.
Okay.
And the runner-up was left-handed, a righty one.
Okay.
I took so much scrutiny as the tournament director, saying that I heard it from both sides of the coin, that the left side of the lane was blocked out. How do you ever say the left side of the lane was blocked out when you have those numbers? Just do the percentages.
At least when you're bowling a bracket like that, the 3 out of the final 4 doesn't concern me. What concerns me is 4 of the 16 being left-handed making the finals.
But again, that's not bad. But for people to say that the left was blocked,
No.
no. And then I had the other side
One
saying,
makes the finals in their 15th, and nobody else is in the top 30. Different story.
look,
Not 4 in the top 16.
also the other issue is, well, the left was too easy. The lefty righty thing is always the biggest debate in bowling, right? How to make it fair.
It has been forever.
It's always going to be. And I don't think people realize that these patterns, they're not, unfortunately, the lefties are always going to have a harder time on them. They're
Yeah.
always going to, because there's less lefties. And in the US Open, it's the perfect example. You know, 8 lefties have won the US Open since 1971. 8. 8. 8.
Wow.
8. Think of how many great lefties have bowled in the past 50 years. 8 lefties have won the US Open since 1971.
Wow.
Okay? But what I'm
Not a lot.
saying is, it's always that discrepancy. When you modify a pattern, you modify it the right way. So the pattern that I had selected, the ratio was like 4-1.
Okay.
Okay. And when we went to John goes, look, the surface you're bowling on is pretty crappy. It's a lot of friction. We have to soup them up, and I'm going to make them flatter. That's the only way they're going to hold. That's what we did. So we went from 4-1 to 2.7-1. They got flatter, and he added some volume to keep them a little souped because of the surface being so soft.
Right.
So again, we don't make these changes and whatnot to try to screw a certain style of a bowler or whatnot, or screw the lefties. I hate hearing that. It's the hardest thing to do as a tournament director or whatnot to make everybody happy. And Justin, you can agree with that. But it's the fair way to do it. Lane patterns stink. It's always going to be that discrepancy.
Yeah.
And how do you make it fair? You're not going to make it fair for everybody. Nobody's going to be happy all the time. But when we make these changes, they're done the right way. It's not like me and you are going to lane machine and popping in numbers and just running the machine.
You can't have it perfect every time.
No. And
You
gonna
can't. You can get them as close as you can by making the right corrections, but you can never make it perfect every time because of the lefties that are bowling in the field. I mean, if you've got what was it, 16 left-handers in the field, or no, 22. If you had
22 out of 116, yeah.
Johnny, Dad, or Earl, Jesper, Jacob, Matt Russo. I mean, you take guys of that nature. Like, you take 22 of the best lefties in the world. Mm-hmm. Of course, there's going to be a bunch of them in the top 16. Then you're going to say the left is too easy?
No.
No, they're the best in the world. But again, if you've got scrubs, I mean, the guys that average 170 on the house shot, of the 22 guys, there's not going to be a lot. And then you're going to still get the comments.
You're going to get it no matter what. But I think there's a big misconception of like, it's always that battle of the lefty righty thing, right?
Yeah.
You can't make everybody happy. But again, as a tournament director, and you wear the same hat in the summertime, Justin.
Right.
We make them fair, or as fair as we can get them for everybody. All you want to see is equality.
Yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, in some of these cases, because there's more traffic on our side of the lane, it breaks down and the righties kind of run them over. Right. Yeah. When they open up and they break them down, and all of a sudden the right looks like you're bowling on the china and the left is still threading the needle. You can't do anything about that. You can't.
Right.
Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, please tell me. But and I'm getting sick and tired of hearing it. Well, you block the left out, or the left. No, you're not. And I'm going to give you the perfect example. We bowled a tournament Saturday night, and I watched this Saturday night. Okay. On the pair had 4. There were 10 people on the pair. 4 lefties out of the 10. So 6 righties, 4 lefties.
Okay.
Okay. Johnny was one of the lefties on the pair. Okay.
Okay.
Not one lefty bowled 600 on the pair.
Wow.
2 pairs over, Vinny D'Ambrosio bowled 813 with his eyes closed.
Wow.
On the exact same thing, just 2 pairs away. With 3 lefties on his pair, where Johnny's pair had 4. So again, that goes to pair, and a center is different. What are you going to do?
It's the same thing on the right, but because there's less of them, you can single them out a little bit more.
Yeah, and when the lefty takes all the money out, of a place, you always hear the comments out of the left. He whack. Yeah, no. How about you just tip your cap to the guy? Like,
Right.
regardless of if he is left-handed or whatnot, he still threw the ball. Like Vinny had five.
Spencer's doing that here, and I'm like, I can't say he's left-handed.
No, exactly. I mean, Vinny had 559 for two Saturday night. I mean, he was just. I mean, it was like he could throw with his toe, and he was putting 10 back.
Right.
And you don't, people. Oh, they announced his name for a game pot winner. You hear people screaming, "Oh, the left, the left!" Stop it! Enough of this. Like that's been the biggest thing in professional bowling for years. And Dad has said it. Johnny said it. They heard it for years on tour. It's almost like the lefties' ability is kind of knocked in a way when
Yeah.
they bowl good. Like it's like, oh, the lane man threw him a cookie. That's the only reason that Parker bowled good this week. How about you just no? He made shots for 42 games and beat the field.
Yeah.
You'll never hear that. You never hear that when a lefty does it. How about this one? Mike Scroggins, right? Not a fancy game at all, right?
No.
No. The man could split a hair at 52 feet.
Right.
Won the U.S. Open. You got to knock him. Guy's in the Hall of Fame. Guy has a couple majors.
No.
Won the U.S. Open, for God's sakes.
Right.
And there's a perfect example. What are they going to say? That guy, oh, he gave him a cookie at the U.S. Open that week? How about the guy made quality shots for 56 games and ran him over?
Right.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. People have no clue what they're talking about.
No.
When it comes to like patterns and lefties and righties, it is sickening to an extent.
No, and it's kind of what we talked about last week with the two-handers. I mean, it's the same thing, just in different phrases. The comments that are being made in the bowling world are never congratulating someone on a good performance.
No.
They're always, oh, well, it's because he's two-handed and because he's cheating, or oh, the left was just good, the lame man gave him a cookie. Like, enough's enough. Like, the hate comments in bowling just need to stop. They have to.
And it's not getting any better, especially with what you just said. And now you sprinkle in the urethane love triangle. It's not getting any better.
I mean, I could not imagine being Jacob Buttroff right now.
I don't think he bowled yet today. I think he's bowling tonight.
I mean, like, in general, like, lefty only throws purple hammer most of the time.
Has
right?
a 780 rev rate because he's of his unique release.
Right. He's got one of the most unique styles on tour.
Ever.
Left-handed, throws urethane. It has no credit whatsoever.
He looks like Fred Flintstone going to the foul line. But the guy's pretty damn accurate. I mean, he really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Jesper's another one. Like these are guys that unfortunately are going to have to like reprove themselves almost because of this whole dilemma.
Yeah. But
seriously, like enough is enough. We use this and we speak our opinion to an extent, but I mean, there are guys out there just totally clueless.
Yeah. And I think that the bowling world, enough people have to speak up about the hate in the bowling world. And I know Kevin Williams has been vocal about it. But there has to be enough people that just try and stop
it.
But
it has to be people that, and no disrespect to Kevin Williams, but Kevin Williams, yeah, he's a name in the bowling world, but he's not a name in the bowling world. You know what I mean?
Right. He's not a Belmo or a Simonson.
Exactly. He's not a Belmo. He's not a Barnes. He's not your father. You want to have guys that are like Hall of Famers that have been doing this for their livelihood for years. That's the way it'll get, addressed. Like people talk about like the steroids of baseball, right? Well, when a guy like Barry Bonds would speak, right? People listened. If Tiger Woods spoke about golf or whatnot, people listen because it's Tiger Woods. It has more coming from that. You know what I mean?
Right.
If the statement's made from Belmonte or Kevin Williams, whose statement's going to weigh a little heavier? It's Belmonte's.
Right.
That's what they need. They need more people like that to really make the effort. I mean, it needs to stop.
Yeah, I agree.
But we're in a good spot. Bowling's in a good spot. It just needs to stay in a good spot.
Yes, it needs to keep going in the direction that it's going.
Correct. And then we got the sitcom on CBS. I mean, they were on Fox, FS1. Let's go.
It's going the right way, and I'm excited for the next 5 years in the sport of bowling.
People need to stand up to Chad Murphy. End of story. And I know one person in particular that has been doing this for a long time, and you know who I'm talking about. We're not going to mention his name, but he's been very vocal about stuff that Chad has done. more people need to get their opinion out there. Put it on social media, because that's the only.
If they believe something's wrong, write a letter, do something on social media, make your opinion heard and your voice heard.
If you buy something from Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And you have it, let's just say you buy this water bottle, right? Or the water bottle you're drinking out of.
Yeah.
And after 2 weeks, the top of the bottle starts to leak, right? You're going to call Amazon and you're going to complain about it, right? Hey, I bought this thing. I use it, I wash it, it's leaking. Well, we can't do anything for you. Well, what's the next step? You're going to write a review, and you're going to go on there and you're going to have a review, and you're going to put a bad review about the product, right?
Right.
If bowling, unfortunately, is bad right now, put it out there. Social media is so strong. You know this. You're the social media king. Your voice will get heard. It will get to the right person eventually.
Right.
I mean, look at us with the Hall of Fame. We were just BSing about the Hall of Fame that one night. We got Walter Ray to come on and talk to us about it because of that. It got all the way to him.
Yeah.
It got all the way to Jaros. There's another guy. He came out of nowhere to talk to us because of what we did and what we said. Your voice gets heard. It will get out there.
Right.
All right. Enough. So Sunday night, we'll be back.
Sunday night for the draft with Chuck Gardner. We'll be back. And then we'll be back Tuesday night, the 5th, for the recap of the USBC Masters.
Oh, are we going to recap the Masters before the show on Sunday or no? I mean, we could probably touch on it, right?
Well, the draft is after.
When is the show Sunday? Do we have a time for the actual telecast for the Masters?
I think it's 1 o'clock Eastern.
That's early.
Well, I think it's 10 Pacific.
Yeah, that's early for it. Wow. 10 a.m. for the TV show?
On the West Coast.
Yeah, I thought normally it would be a little bit later on the West Coast. I don't know. All right. So we'll post it on the Facebook page of when the draft show is.
Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated once we know more of a solid time.
But Chuck is confirmed.
Yes, Chuck is confirmed. Chuck will be joining us, and that's going to be an absolute blast. And then we'll be recapping the Masters in a little bit more detailed review rather than just mentioning what happened on the TV show.
Now, really quick, when is Nationals for you for Wichita?
Nationals is April 20th to the 23rd.
That's in Texas, right?
It's in Chicago.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You both sectionals was in Texas. That's right.
Yes.
All right, you're in Chicago. So we have some time. We'll preview the Collegiate National Championship. Can Justin get himself a national championship is the question.
That's the plan.
That is the plan. All right, so let's wrap it up. Masters is going on. Mr. Forey is bowling. BuddiesProShop.com, 5% off. Zone 5 off in the promo code at checkout will get you 5% off.
Go use it.
Go use it. Let's pull for Forey. Let's see him get into match play. A lot of bowling left. The Buddies guys. And let's pull for Belmo. I want to see Belmo stick it right to Chad Murphy this week. So let's go, Belmo. Make the run. Get Masters number 5. And good day, mate. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, everybody, go hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Go like the Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram so you never miss an update from the Bohn and Zano Zone. As for now, I'm Justin Bohn, my partner, Mike Val. And thanks so much for watching.